Nobody just disappears. And that's what makes a situation that seems just that way, that a man just vanished, that more maddening for investigators. They often quit on those cases. And for families, it is agonizing in that unknown. And that's what's going on in Nebraska, okay? This guy, Tyler Goodrich, 35 years old, gets into a spat with his husband, okay? They have words. There's an allegation that there was a push. The husband calls the cops. Tyler Goodrich takes off. Why would you take off after just something like that? Who knows? But he takes off and has not been seen for 4 months. The last thing we know is that there was a call as he exited the house, an image that is on a camera that may have been him. The husband is the last one to have seen him. He came home from work, pizza movie night, argument, vanishes. That's it. Now we hear stories that, well, there was a divorce. The husband puts out in December, this happened in November, nasty Facebook post, kind of running his husband down, running his family down, too. So those are the facts as we understand them. The police investigation reportedly at a total standstill. The family has turned to private investigators, and they think they have a lead. Let's bring in the sister of Tyler Goodrich, Felicia Nicholson, and the private investigator searching for Tyler, Erik Rezabek from Brigham Home, Nebraska. Did I get everybody's name right, first of all?
You did, Chris. Thank you.
Felicia. Gotcha. All right, so let's get right to it so you can get the urgency out there. Felicia, what do people you want people to know about your brother and whether or not he would have just vanished?
Yeah, my brother Tyler would never have left his family and his friends. And we know that something awful happened to him on November 3rd. And we are 4 months into this, Chris, and we don't have a shred of evidence. And we need people to look and think back and to bring answers forward for Tyler.
Quick follow, and I know that you're not going to like this, but we have to give people, you have to answer people's questions. People are going to say, okay, well, good chance he did this to himself. The husband's post on Facebook suggested that he may have had some issues, and maybe he had mental health issues. And who else would run out of the house this way in the middle of the night? He probably did something to himself, if anything happened at all. Do you believe that that's where your brother, his head and his heart were?
I don't believe that, not for a second, Chris. Anybody that knew Tyler knew that his friends and his family came first. He would never have harmed himself and left those kids, left his friends, and left his family like we are today.
Okay, Erik. Well, that's what the husband suggests, okay? In his own words, in that Facebook post, assuming it was his, he seems to suggest that this is all on Tyler, that there were demons there at play. What do you believe, sir, and why?
Yeah, Chris. Initially, that was something that we looked into, but kind of since I've been a part of this, I've ruled that out too. I mean, if you're talking about Tyler running off and starting a new life, he left that house that night with a sweatshirt, shorts, a wallet, car keys, no car, and that's about it. I don't know where he would have went to start a new life. And as far as, did he hurt himself? Did he commit suicide? I strongly believe that's off the table just because we would have found him by now. He didn't have, like I said, no car. So, and we've searched that area numerous times and we haven't found anything. So,
physical guy, great runner, obviously, veteran. So you would think that he would have been able to defend himself. What is your suspicion, Erik, about what happened here?
Right now, my biggest theory that I have is, and I don't know if you guys have that, we had some dogs come out and they gave a trail. They tracked where Tyler would have went that night. And it includes some fields, some rural areas. But then he goes back on the road and that's where that scent stops. So I'm kind of locked in on two theories. Number one, he went onto that road, possibly a drunk driver, somebody that shouldn't have been on the road, hit him, panicked, took him, and we just don't know where. He may have been gravely injured. Like I said, the person panicked, took off, and that's going to be tough to solve. And then,
hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.